Colbyjack.net is proud to present From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. The people of the fire, the Blesa, led by their queens, have ruled the island of Alfeyju and oppressed the Driva, the people of the ice, for more than 16 generations. With the Drivian King in hiding and little hope on the horizon, the Driva looked to one person to save them from the vile Blesa, the Diviana. According to legend, the divinely gifted Diviana will one day overthrow the Blesa and restore the Drivian King to his rightful throne. But with the search having lasted for more than 400 years, will the Diviana ever come to light? Willow is the slave of the Raskpil family. Bought at the age of 4, 20 years have passed since her life irrevocably changed. Her existence is no worse than any other slave, but within, Willow wonders if there isn't something more she should be doing with her life other than serving the ungrateful. Ordered to travel with her master's family to Sondertoft, so her master's adult children can take part in an ancient rite of passage, Willow is shocked when she learns that she too must participate. Will she fail, as all before her have? Will she rise to the challenge and become stronger after passing through the flames? Episode 51. "I am not a thief," Willow said scornfully.
"Of course you aren't,"
Mistress Brigida said.
"But did you borrow the clothes, staff, and boat?" "Ignore the woman and talk to Bassie. He's much more open than the old bat," Val advised.
Taking the advice to heart, Willow turned her attention to Master Bassie and said, "I have a few questions about my past that I would like for you to answer." "I'll be happy to answer anything I can," Master Bassie said calmly. Before Willow could say anything else, Mistress Brigida banged her fist on the table and raged, "Don't ignore me, you!" "Be quiet, Gidda," Master Bassie said, cutting off her tirade. "Your outbursts are not helpful. If you can't be quiet, leave now. I won't tell you again." Mistress Brigida looked hard at her husband before sitting back in her chair and crossing her arms in front of herself. Obviously, she intended to stay. "I don't remember a lot about my life before I came here, so I hoped you would be able to fill in some of the gaps," Willow said. "We don't know much," Master Bassie admitted. "Gidda happened to be in a nearby village visiting friends when she heard there was an orphan looking for a home. She inquired with the woman taking care of you, bought you, and then brought you back with her." "What village was I in?" "It's called Cordula, and it's about a day's walk from here. Very small village. Makes most of its money off farming and artisan crafts. Few people even know it exists, let alone how to find it," Master Bassie said. "Why did your wife buy Willow?" Hawk asked. "Had you been looking for a slave?" "Not really," he responded, looking a little uncomfortable. "We'd been discussing for a while about getting some more help. But not a slave, necessarily. I have to admit, I was as surprised as anyone when she came home with this small child and said she'd bought her and planned to keep her as a slave. I was convinced she'd lost her mind. You see, slaves are usually much older than you were when they are bought. But when she told me you didn't have any relatives and would have been sold to a plantation if nobody took you in, I didn't have the heart to take you back." "If you were so against having a slave as young as I was, why didn't you raise me as one of your own children? Why carry on treating me as a slave?" "What did you expect us to do?" Mistress Brigida asked. "You weren't our child. I didn't care about you or love you as I do my own children. You want to know what I saw when I first looked at you? I saw a good slave to raise and then give to my own daughter one day." "So all these years I've been a commodity to raise and give away when the time was right?" Willow asked, trying to keep the hurt that flowed through her heart out of her voice. "Yes," Mistress Brigida said at the same time Master Bassie said, "No." No, he said again. To me, you were a precious child needing a home. As you grew up, I saw all the chores we had you do as repayment for having a roof over your head and warm food in your belly.
You still called me a slave. You still told the village I was your slave, she said, trying to understand. So, was I your slave or not?
As you grew up, yes, you became our slave, Master Bassi admitted. But in the beginning, you weren't.
She was always a slave, and no amount of sugarcoating will erase that fact,
Mistress Brigida said.
Why don't you two agree to disagree on that point? Sigurd suggested. Stay out of this, boy,
Mistress Brigida spat at him.
You know nothing about me or my family, so mind your own business. Did you ever care for me, even a little?
Willow asked, the question escaping from her lips before she could stop it. I did, Master Bassi said quietly. I thought of you as another daughter, and I was infuriated when Gitta kicked you out. But by the time I found out what she'd done, I didn't know where you'd gone. I'd invite you back, but I know you'd never come back, especially with all the hostility.
I cared enough about you to feed you and not beat you too badly when you disobeyed me. Other than that, I could care less what happens to you, Mistress Brigida said without feeling. As for the record, you would not be welcome in this house. He'd have to kick me out before I'd allow you to live with my family again. To me, you are nothing but an ungrateful child. So nice to know your true feelings for me after all these years, Willow said, directing her venom toward Mistress Brigida. Looking back at Master Bassi, she said, If you could give me directions to Cordula, I'd appreciate it.
Of course. Pausing for a second, he said, You have a long walk ahead of you. If you want, you can stay here tonight.
What are you doing? You can't invite them to stay here.
As happily surprised at the invite as she was, Willow still said,
As much as I'd like to accept, I have to decline your generous offer. We should be going. I'll stop in my room and pack my things, and then we'll leave you in peace. You can't!
Will you be quiet and let the girl get the few possessions which are hers? Master Bassi said with a huff. Your attitude is so ungenerous. It makes you wonder why I married you in the first place.
Fine, get your things,
Mistress Brigida yelled, getting to her feet and stomping out of the room. She didn't used to be this way, Master Bassi commented, leading the trio toward Willow's room. The years have hardened her.
I remember the first winter solstice with you, Willow said, moving past him and entering the tiny room.
It wasn't really a room, more of a closet full of odds and ends. Her few remaining possessions had been knocked over and pushed out of the way.
She was so nice and loving. You gave me a tiny bow and arrow set, promised to teach me how to use them, while she gave me a dress she had made. What happened?
Life happened. A few weeks later, one of her friends said something, and she took it to heart. It changed her whole attitude and treatment towards you. Sighing with the memories, he said, I'll give you a chance to pack. Stop by the table before you leave.
All right,
Willow said, watching Master Bassi leave. I'm going to get those directions to Cordula, Hawk said. You do want to go there next, right?
Yes,
Willow answered. He seems nice, Sigurd commented after Hawk left them alone. Not too sure about that shrew of a wife of his, but he appears to be a reasonable fellow.
He's always been the one to treat me the best. Never harped on my position within the family as the others did. Mistress Brigida poisoned her children's minds against me, and nothing he did could undo the damage. Out of them all, I'm going to miss him the most, she said, getting to her feet.
Going to the doorway, she looked back one last time. This was the last time she'd see this tiny room she'd grown up in, the last time she would probably ever see these people. She felt sad that they'd leave with such hostility, but there wasn't anything she could do, was there?
Guess I've got everything, she murmured. You sorry to be leaving here forever? Sigurd asked as they made their way to the eating table. Passing the open doorway leading to the kitchen, Willow paused to look at Mistress Brigida. A thought passed through her mind that she should say something to the woman. On second thought, though, she decided it wouldn't be a good idea. It was best to let some things stay unsaid. "What are you leaving unsaid?" Val inquired. "Like how you didn't appreciate the awful treatment you received at her hands all those years?" "Something like that," Willow silently acknowledged. Hawk and Master Bassi looked up when Sigurd and Willow entered the room. "Ready to go?" Willow asked.
"Yes, I have the directions to Cordula. We should be able to find it with little trouble."
"Then it is time for us to leave. Thank you, Master Bassi, for answering my questions."
Master Bassi rose to his feet and followed them outside. "It was the least I could do. I wish I could have helped more."
"Goodbye," Willow said, taking one more look at the house and her former master.
"Goodbye, Willow," he said.
He opened and then closed his mouth before finally saying,
"If you ever need anything."
"I'll let you know," Willow promised, pleased by this olive branch. "Bye."
"Safe journeys to you and your companions," he said before turning around and walking to the door. Before he could enter the house, however, Willow remembered one more thing she wanted to ask.
"Do you know the names of my parents?"
Master Bassi turned around. "We know your mother's first name was Nivarasik."
"And my dad?"
"Gita didn't get his name, not your family name. We decided early on to use your mother's name as your family name."
"Thank you,"
Willow said. Master Bassi nodded his head in acknowledgement and then went into the house. "I expected to loathe every person in that family," Hawk commented. "And the two women I did, but he surprised me. Much more likable than the others. Is the son like his father?"
"No,"
Willow responded as they entered the forest. They were following the path Master Bassi had indicated would take them to Cordula.
"He's a carbon copy of his sister and mother. How that woman was able to poison her children with Master Bassi around, I've never been able to figure out."
"What did you say he did?" Sigurd asked.
"He hunts and fishes and sells his excess catch. He also tans furs and sells them to the ladies in town who make fur coats and hats,"
Willow said.
"You just explained his wife's effects on their children. I bet during the year he's routinely away from home, hunting and fishing long hours, right?" "Yes." "Then his wife had a lot more time to poison them than he had to counteract her hatred. If he'd been home more, perhaps he could have stopped it. But his work kept him away, thus sentencing you and the village to their self-centered approach to life," Sigurd said. "You're right, Sig," Willow said. The picture he painted felt familiar.
"When did you get so knowledgeable about family dynamics?" Hawk asked.
"It all started when I was young, you see?" "Feel better?" Val asked. "Yes, I do. When Hawk first brought up the idea of coming back here, I didn't think talking to them would do anything except make me feel worse. But now, I'm glad he made me. I feel as if for the first time in my life, I'm not living under a cloud of misunderstandings and illusions. The blinders I had on are completely off, and I know exactly how they feel about me. No second guessing, no trying to figure out what was a lie and what wasn't. I can now move on from that part of my life." "Then why are we going to Cordula? What do you hope to find there?" "Closure. I want to see where I was born and lived the first 4 years of my life. I want to see my parents' graves and talk to the woman who gave me over to Mistress Brigida. Maybe she can tell me why she really did it, and more about my family." "You have a lot of questions for a woman who may or may not be still alive and living in the village," Val said. "I'm sure I can find someone in the village who can answer my questions, if the woman is Willow's words were cut off by the sudden impact of 2 arrows embedding themselves into her back. For a second, Willow felt suspended in place, unable to breathe, or speak, or move. Then she crumpled to the ground, unable to control her fall. "What the?" Hawk said, hearing her fall to the ground. Seeing the arrows stick out of her back, he yelled, "No!" and started toward her. "Stay back!" Val ordered, emitting a burst of magical energy at Sigurd and Hawk, pushing him away from Willow and into the cover of the forest. Barely conscious of what was going on around her, the last thing Willow thought before she passed out was, "Adelina, help me!" You have been listening to From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. Read, recorded, mastered, encoded, and produced by Colbyjack.net. This work is released under a Creative Commons 3.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license. Do what you want with it, just don't try to profit from it. Heaven knows we can't. If you have any questions, comments, or rants you wish to share with us, we can be reached at Colbyjack at Colbyjack.net. That's COLBYTRAX @COLBYJACK.net. Yep, I sing it too. If you want to follow the exploits of Trisha in Twitterland, just search for Lady Trisha W on Twitter, or follow the ever-dashing, courageous, hardworking, intelligent, and immensely humble Colbyjack on the Twitters as well. If you find that you can't just wait to find out what will happen with Willow, the strong dude and the annoying dude, be heartened to know that From the Flames is available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, as well as from our little shop. Didn't you know about our little shop? Why, yes, we have a little shop located at shop. That's SHOP. .Colbyjack.net. That's shop.Colbyjack.net. Yeah, real original there. There you will find the latest ebook versions of all our works in both Mobi and ebook, all DRM-free, as well as audiobook versions of such works as Firmware Hijacked and Proxy, as well, naturally, as well as From the Flames. The audiobooks differ from the podcasts in that the headers and bumpers only run once, and the episodes are grouped into hour-long episodes for easy burning to CD or for downloading on the go. If you find you don't need any stuff, but just want to thank us monetarily for our efforts here, just head on over to Colbyjack.net, select either audio or visual, and look for the donate button located on the blog roll. Well, anyway, thank you for listening, have a wonderful week, and remember to be fabulous.